The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, O Lord.
As Jesus was passing through a field of grain on the Sabbath, his disciples began to make a path while picking the heads of grain. At this, the Pharisees said to him, "Look, why are they doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath?" He said to them, "Have you never read what David did when he was in need, and he and his companions were hungry? How he went into the house of God when Abiathar was high priest and ate the bread of offering that only priests could lawfully eat, and shared it with his companions." Then he said to them, "The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. That is why the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath." Brothers and sisters, the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated.
Magandang umaga po muli sa ating lahat. I read a reflection by Elizabeth Scalia, an editor of the Word on Fire blog, and she described how some of her Jewish friends understand the Sabbath. She said that for them, the Sabbath is basically a time to be rather than a time to do. A time to be rather than a time to do. This is something that struck me because, to be honest, sometimes my focus on persons rely on the to do rather than the be. There are even times that what I look for of myself is the do and not the be. Father, ano po yung do and be na yan? What do I mean by these words, do and be? Is it something significant? I would ask you, imagine if we rate our seminarians here, our novices, according to what they can do. Like, can they play the keyboard well? Can they sing the psalms well? Can they serve the Mass well? If these would be our criteria for them to be priests, do you think it would be enough? Kaya lang tumugtog ng keyboard, okay na ba yun? Kaya mahusay lang mag-serve sa misa, okay na ba yun? Of course, we would say no. No. What if our criteria for marrying someone is based on the work or achievement of a person? I will marry you because you have a PhD. Okay ba yun? I will marry you because you are a doctor. I will marry you because you can do this and you can do that. Do you think that will make a married life happy? Of course, our answer would be a big no. It is definitely clear to us that a person's worth is not equated by what he or she can do, or the love that we can give to a person should not rely and should not really be based on the doing. Where should it come from? From being. Not do, but be from who we are. And we are God's image and likeness. That is our being. That is our being. And this is the thing of the Sabbath. This is what is being reminisced in the Sabbath day. That our being is of God and from God. This, I think, is what the Pharisees in the gospel today missed out in their understanding of the Sabbath, of the Lord's Day. They were so much into what to do and not to do in the Sabbath, and forgot what it was, or to whom it was for. That is why the words of Jesus were, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. The day of the Lord is not about the doing, rather of being. Not about what a person can do or should not do, but about the person being the son and daughter of God. Someone who is worth every care and every love of this world. That is why that to do, the do and the be is very significant, especially in our time. Especially in our time. Because to be honest, my dear sisters and brothers, even if it is clear to us that a person's worth is to be based from being and not from doing, I think many are still guilty of this mistake. As I have said, I myself have done this. There were times that I would give much attention to a person depending on what he or she achieved in life. Sadly. Now my question is, what about those who could not attain anything because of poverty? Who will give them attention? Sometimes too, I am more forgiving to people who have done good things to me. My question is, what if a person has done something bad to me? Would I be forgiving too? Would I forgive him or her? Or would I immediately resort to a seemingly more satisfying vengeance? Brothers and sisters, the Sabbath has a very powerful message to all of us, and it is very timely. At a time where the world is telling us we need to acquire things and credentials in order to enjoy its good regard, at a time when we think that we are supposed to make our mark and raise our kids, our young ones, to have a similar ambition. Because if they do enough, they will really be somebody in the world. Someone celebrated, someone listened to, someone who stands out because of what he or she can do. Then the Sabbath tells all of us to stop. Typical Sabbath. It tells all of us to stop. Stop, then focus on God's image and likeness in people. I know it is difficult to find, but I tell you, it is there. It is there. I know it is difficult to see that in ourselves, that image and likeness of God in myself, lalong-lalo na kapag yung dinadown mo na talaga sarili mo, yung feeling mo wala ka na talagang kwenta sa mundong ito. Look again. I am sure the image and likeness of God is there in you. Regardless of what we have done, what we have accomplished, the mistakes that we did, it is still there. Jesus saw this in his disciples. And in seeing that, and Jesus also sees that in each and every one of us, every day. That is how Jesus sees us. And I think it would definitely be best if we do the same.